Plan for the worst, expect the best. When it comes to our expectations, there are a lot of things that surround it. They can empower us, they can inspire us, they sometimes bring us joy and happiness, and other times they're the cause of our breakdowns, our downfalls, our frustrations, our dissatisfaction, as we have these expectations we place on other people that either they're not aware of, they're unwilling to meet, or we're not even willing to admit to ourselves. So I have conversations with people on what their challenges in relationships and what sex are, and someone and I were talking and expectations came up as a problem. And for me, I find this to be an interesting topic, as I work for a company where there's a team norms and expectations doc that I personally think is silly. If you need a document to tell people how to behave or give them expectations, then your culture is not clear enough to the people who are joining. It is not something that is active and lived in practice. It's something that is referred to and indoctrinated. I'm Latia, and I have an interesting relationship with expectations. I also enjoy confidence coaching, sexuality, attraction, law of attraction, manifesting, all sorts of things. I'm a student of life, and I'm seeking to mastermind. And as when it comes to expectations, I feel like for me, the biggest point where it was a challenge for me was actually in my relationship with my dad. And not in a way of I placed expectations on him, but I remember I was around 12 years old, and we were doing dance classes. I think I was 12. I was probably younger than 12 actually, because I can't remember how old I was. But we were doing a dance recital at the high school, and I wasn't in high school. I wasn't 12 because my brother would have been born, and that's not when it happened. But we were getting our hair done or something, where we're getting ready for this dance recital, and our dad's on his way. And it's like, oh, your dad's gonna be here in 10 minutes. Get ready, dad's coming. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, dad's about to be here. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped. I'm ready. Yes, we're gonna see dad. And then it was just kidding, 20 more minutes. Apparently there's traffic, not as close as you thought. 20 more minutes. Okay, it's okay. 20 more minutes, we can do this. And it happens a couple more times. And then as whatever age I was at, I was like, these expectations suck because they're putting me on this roller coaster where there's this excitement and expectation. And it's just yes, dad's gonna be here, everything's gonna change, we're gonna get to show him our dance, and it's gonna be so much fun. And then it would be the disappointment of, okay, not yet. All right, that's cool. And then it's it was not fun for me. And that's with my dad. No matter what happened, my dad was gonna show up. He was taking us away from the summer. He was on his way. So what I did was have no expectations is a better space to be in, because when you don't expect anything, even though you know it's gonna happen, it's you kind of have a peacefulness. It's dad's gonna come whenever he comes. I'm not gonna stress myself. I'll let it be a surprise. I'll just enjoy the journey and just be where I am and do my best to be present. And it's interesting to me because I don't have a lot of expectations on the people I have relationships with. And part of it's just I don't trust people. And then part of it's when it comes to relationships, when we put expectations on people, especially if they're not willing to meet them, that's when we have a lot of challenges. Because instead of it being this free-flowing, I love you, you love me, we're having fun and just enjoying each other's company, it becomes about tit for tat, and you're not doing what I expect, and I'm dissatisfied, and I'm frustrated. And when we sit down, there's a difference between what someone is willing to do, what they agree to do, and what we are kind of allowed to reprimand people for. Because if we don't have an agreement that you're going to treat me in a certain way, or you're going to do different things for me, then if you don't do those things, then it's oh, that was a gift. That's not an expectation. And there's another challenge in relationships, depending on what phase you're in, because in the beginning, a lot of people are going to do things that aren't their norm to impress you and to treat you well, and they're excited, and tensions are high, passion is high. It's like all this erotic friction, and everyone's like, ooh, I'm hot, you're hot, let's do fun things together, and it's exciting. And then you get to know each other, and it's like, you're boring, I don't care about you as much, like, I take you for granted, like, you're cool, and I'm so glad I have you, and whatever, like, you can stay or leave. So when it comes to expectations, it's in the beginning, sometimes we create these expectations that other people have of us. Sometimes people come in with their own expectations, where you meet someone, they expect to get married within a certain period of time. They expect this timeline. They have their own goals and narrative that they're placed on the relationship without considering the person that they're partnering with. So there are a lot of challenges when dealing with expectations, because there's a level of honesty that both parties need to have in discussing the expectations that we place on one another. Because sometimes there are people who can tell, like, I feel like you expect something of me, you want something, what is it? And they'll start the conversation. And a lot of people will not start the conversation. It's just gonna be like, you awkward, I'm awkward. We're just gonna have this weird moment here, and nobody's gonna address the elephant in the room. And it's not necessarily the most mature way to deal with your challenges. And it's what people do. We're not all mature. There's a lot of big kids walking around who think they're adults, and like, I'm mature, I have a job and family, and I am doing the things, and I am old, so I don't know what's going on. And it's like, nah, your years are long and your maturity is small. Not every person is as adept or skilled as we would assume that they are when we know their age or how long they've been on the earth. Just because you've done something a lot or often does not mean you're good at it. It does not mean you have understanding or really know what's going on. And sometimes in relationships, that's where we're at. It's like, you've been in this relationship so long, you don't even know how to do it well. It makes me think of practice does not make perfect, but perfect practice makes perfect. So if every time you do something, you make sure you engage it as though it's the first time, you come with an excellence mindset, you're in your beginner mode, there are, like, it's like a checklist of excellence where you just get in the practice of, every time I go to swing the bat, I just make sure I do this little ritual, I get in my headspace, I visualize this, and then I do it. If we treat relationships like that, like every time we come together, I'm going to be present, I'm going to have fun, I will bring the playful sexiness. And I was reading The Sex Issue, and one of the things they talk about is honoring your shadow. That if you have a partner and you kind of like bring your shadow, like, mentally, it's not like, I'm going to tell you about my shadow stuff, but it's like, if you experience bringing your shadow to the forefront and honoring those things about yourself that you try to hide or feel ashamed of, sometimes that helps with the erotic tension and the sexuality in the relationship as it develops intimacy and connection. And it's been fascinating reading that book, because there's so many different ways for people to keep the flame alive in their relationships. And it's nice to know that there are people who've done it. Like, one of the people who's been interviewed was married for 30 years. And that, for me, is exciting and encouraging, because I've seen a lot of people get divorces and split up or separate or give up on their relationship or stay married but have, like, arrangements that are not honoring the marriage that they have. And so to know that there are people who are committed for long periods of time is always exciting, especially if they keep the flame alive and they're having fun and they're enjoying each other. But when it comes to relationships, whether it's sexual, fun, casual, friendship, whatever the relationship is, when we have our expectations of people and they're not willing to meet them, that can leave us hurt and feeling bad. And it's our choice on whether we're going to give that power away. So are we going to be willing to stand firm and have a conversation around what we would like? Are we not? It's about courage and owning up to what we need to feel satisfied in our relationships. So if you're aware of what someone wants and it's like, I can work with that, like, this is your level that you're bringing in, and that works for me. Or you're like, you're here and I need this. And it's like, there's that gap. Then it's like, understand that there's that gap and honor the gap. Honor that you're not going to be as satisfied as you would like to be. Because if you pretend that you're satisfied when you're not, then you're only hurting yourself. Because this person has made it clear, I'm not willing to do that for you. And sometimes people do change over time, and it's better to expect that they won't. Just because if you go into something assuming that they'll change, it's not empowering and it doesn't work for a lot of people. And in addition to like kind of level setting your expectations with what their behavior is, what they're doing, how they treat you, there's also, for me, I feel like we need to get more comfortable with rejection. I feel like, especially in transformational spaces, it's like, think you're a yes and think everyone wants to support you. And, you know, the universe says yes, every person says yes. No, that's not how this works. That's not how people work. That's not how anything works. Most people are a no. Nobody cares about you. Nobody wants to help you. Nobody has your back except for you. And when the right people come along who are yes, that is a gift. It is wonderful and amazing, and honor it as a gift. Because if we take yes for granted, that's when we get into an entitled space and we think we deserve, you know, this person's support or this person be our client or whatever it may be, and you do not. Nobody owes you anything. It's like we're all out here trying to get pieces of this pie, and it's part of what for me is so icky about some people who do sales. It's like you assume you friending me on Facebook and send me a message means we're gonna have a relationship, like, or I'm gonna buy from you. I don't want to buy nothing from you. Like, why would I buy from you? I know who I like and who I want to follow and who I am invested in. I just met you. You are like a hobo on the street. No offense, but like at the same time, seriously. I don't like giving people on the street like my money. Like, if you tell me your story, like, I know I can't have conversations with people like that because like if they have a really interesting story or like they'll like pull out my heartstrings, I'm like, dang, all right, I'll give you some change. And I'll feel guilty about it because I'm like, oh, I really don't like giving people I don't know money. It just does not make me feel good. It feels icky. It feels weird. And to do that with someone where it's like you have a coaching program or you have a this or that and you think you're helping me, you don't know me. You don't know my life. You don't know what I need. And just because you know aspects of me does not mean you're going to provide value for me. And I've had sessions with coaches who are like, I know the right way and the path. And I'm like, I'm a rebel. I don't give a shit about what you think I need. I will like make it really difficult for you. I have intuition. My intuition is strong. And I will like I was in Vegas getting my nails done. And this lady, I was just like, this is about to be a train wreck. And the little voice was like, girl, stop. Like, just leave. Like, you're good. She took the nail polish off. Your dip acrylic is off. Like, go. Get out now. And I was just like, I hear you. How bad can she mess it up? Real bad. She messed it up real bad. Like, who does coffin nails on, like, real people fingernails? And, like, my nails were thin, too. And I was just like, this is trash. And, like, I tipped low because, like, she had kids and she did a service. But I was like, yeah, I want, like, an English-speaking American person to do my nails and not, like, anything weird. And she was from America, but, like, Mexican. And, like, it was just a super tragic, weird thing. She wasn't even a nails person. She was a hairstylist. And I'm just like, how does this work? I don't know. It was weird. And I still went with it because I was just like, I'm sorry, intuition. Like, that's too easy. Of course, if I say no to her, it's going to work out well. But how bad can she make it? It was an interesting story, though. So if I don't listen to my intuition, my divine, infinite intelligence, connection, download to the Most High, why would I listen to you? I don't care how many people you've helped, how much you've supported coaches in your practice. Honestly, I don't actually like coaches who help coaches specifically as their target market, because to me that's like you're shooting fish in a barrel. It's like, of course you're going to go to the people who want help, are doing this and that. And like, if you've helped a lot of like normal people out, like people who are not about that personal development, let me get my life in order life, that is impressive to me. Because people who don't care to like motivate their lives or honor like the fact that they can do better, if you can help people who don't care and aren't interested become interested, that to me is like, wow, what do you do? Tell me your magic. But if you help people who are already about it, it's just like, I mean, cool, but like, duh. Like, if I like Jimmy Choos and you have Jimmy Choos on sale, it's like, of course I'm gonna buy the Jimmy Choos. If they fit and they look good and they have the right price, duh. Now, if I hate Jimmy Choo shoes and heels are stupid to me and you sell me on a pair of heels because like they're so amazing, that's a different story. But I have like, I don't know, I just view the world differently. I don't fully understand normal people, and it's okay, because like we all need to be in our own lane, honor our truth. And I feel like where most people do the normal easy thing, I tend to do the hard thing. And my cousin acknowledged it in me when I was a kid, and it's not for just wanting it to be difficult. Like, part of it is because if you struggle, that's where you have growth and challenge, and it expands your perspective and who I am as a person. I love that. But it's also because when we cut corners, we miss out on like what the journey is about. And there's also a story. So I like to think of myself as like a baby masochist, like little teeny tiny bit of like, ooh, how bad can it get? Like, make me suffer just a little. Why? Because it's funny. It usually makes for an interesting story, interesting moment, something to reflect on, where it's like, wow, that could have been so much easier, and it wasn't. And I'm glad that I didn't take that path. And now I'm getting to a point where it's like, all right, we can stop messing around and like start understanding like there's limited time and there's so much I want to accomplish, and let's take the divine guidance. So back to the original topic, as I digress, as I tend to do. When it comes to having expectations, the only person we can put expectations on is ourselves. And honestly, we're probably not even going to meet our expectations. So it's like, when it comes to expectation, like, I like to believe in a vision and not necessarily in the specific actions or how things are going to come out. So if I have a desire, it's a done deal. Like, I know whenever I decided to do a YouTube challenge, it was just like 30-day YouTube challenge, done. And then midway through, it was like, oh, just kidding, I'm just a daily YouTuber now. Like, I've decided I'm just going to do it. There was no friction. It wasn't super difficult. It was just showing up every day. And so it went from me ranting about random things to me having a little more intentionality behind it, to me having curriculum-ish style ones, to me like playing around to see what works and what doesn't work. And that's what life is about. It is, you're not given the rules. There's no guidebook. All you know is, I don't know, you're alive, you exist, hopefully. Maybe we're in the Matrix and we're not alive and existing, and all of this is just figment of our collective imagination. I have lots of thoughts about that. And part of me is like, if this is a video game, I would like to go to the part where my dreams come true, and it's like you hop, and if you like do a double jump like in Sonic, no. Ooh, Crash Bandicoot. That one, where you do the double jump, or like any game where you do double jump, because Mario does it too. They have lots of characters that do that. But it's like you double jump and all of a sudden you're flying around the room. That would make life even more fun. But that's not the way it is. And I don't know, I was walking today and it's like, what if we are in heaven and we just don't realize it? We are just so convinced that we are doomed and things are bad. But in reality, there's so much beauty in the world that, in spite of the challenges that do happen, that there is something to always be grateful for, to appreciate and enjoy. So whether people are meeting your expectations or not, it's a matter of like honoring, are you getting what you need? Are you communicating what you need? Are you expecting too much of someone who's not willing to give it up to you? And how can we take these expectations and kind of like level set, honor what's real, honor what's true, or just kind of like fall back and give ourselves the space that we need to heal and find that real love that is going to be satisfying. So good luck in your endeavors. I wish you happy level setting of expectations and great relationships where you can be yourself, be true to what you want, and have that peaceful, challenging, all of that. Because relationships are where our triggers come up. Everything that like you thought you didn't have is going to show up, and you'll get to see new sides of yourself. And with relationships, I really believe that it's all about us and how we show up for our partner, for ourselves, and maintain identity even when we're swept away in the honeymoon phase. So have fun, live well, choose wisely, and see you next time.